Hey guys, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to thank you guys so much for the continuous support, suggestions and phone calls. Today we go into part 2 of our livestock genetics vlog where we focus on small ruminant genetics at Boer Goat Farm. So part 2 of our genetics vlog, and we're about to talk about small ruminant genetics, and our main topic is really selective breeding. We're here at Boer Goat Farm. It's owned by Owen Bartley, who you know is Boer goat breeder. So I wanted to basically kind of showcase to you what his type of breeding program would look like, what is it that he's actually selecting for, and some of the record keeping tools that we have to use. I also want to kind of show you guys that without performance testing, you're really not doing our breeding in a particular way. That's the first thing. For Mr. Bartley's first thing was to develop a breeding objective and what that he's looking for. So let us talk with him a little bit and see what he wants, what's the key performance traits that he wants for his animals, and specific to especially a phenotypic characteristics. So let us just quickly take a look. But we're here, there's an animal that just gave birth from one of his Nubian production lines. And one of the first thing that we're going to do is collect the animal birth weight. This record keeping is critical. The birth weight for an animal, the wean weight for an animal can be translated to talk about the sire performance, and the sire is actually the male. So that is why we do a lot. That's why we promote record keeping, especially if you're a breeder. Without records, you are not a breeder. So Mr. Bartley, as a breeder for the Jamaican population, yes, you really breed Boer animals. What are some of the performance traits, or what is that you really breed for? Because as a breeder, I know you must have an objective. I am breeding to achieve this. What are you breeding to achieve?
Well, first of all, Khalil, I breed. I look for phenotype, you know, nice head set, nice head, like I will show you with this little man here that just born. He's about 3 weeks old now, and you know, you have to have a good onset, very nice onset, which I'll show you as we go along in this video. And you know, footing, nice, beautiful chest, you know, straight back line and everything, and I really like when a goat have a nice pair of balls. I would demonstrate that to you with one of my bucks that I have called Billy, and I like a nice back line right down with beautiful legs and stand, and they have to be perfectly on the feet, perfectly on the feet. So that's what I look for.
So what about performance traits? To do any performance testing?
I always for me, since I started goat rearing and coming up and decided I want to be in the breeding aspect of it, I really study other farmers like from South Africa and all of that, so I know definitely what I'm looking for. So basically testing, as you can see, from being Denby champion from 2015 right up to 2019. It would be in 2020, not to brag or anything like that, but you know, because what I look for in the animals, I look for, and they're performing for me. That's why I keep winning at the shows, especially with my buck. So I would say, yes, I do look for that, and I do get the performance out of the animal as well.
Performance testing, what's it that we're really trying to evaluate? We're trying to evaluate the performance of the sire. And in Mr. Bartley's case, Mr. Bartley does line breeding, and he has a specific line called the Magnum line, which was brought in by Archer. So what he does is have about 4 to 6 studs who is selected as his service bucks. So how is that he evaluate these service bucks? That he allows them to breed with different females, and he would collect data on each offspring and align that. So for example, we have Drop, who is his service ram now, and his service ram gave birth to Sniper. So for Sniper already show you the good conformation of a boar. The coloration is perfect. It's right at the neck. He has a heavy looking head. His backline is perfect. But we also want to ensure that we look at some of the traits that we can measure. And measuring these weights include the birth weight, the weaning weight. We even look at the circumference of his balls, or what we call the scrotal circumference, to determine if this animal meeting what we call the Boer animal standards. So this is what I want us farmers now to get into. Selective breeding and also performance testing of your males. So for example, Dropsy has around 10 or so offsprings that is underground currently.
we'll evaluate each of these animals and then say, alright, Dropsy seems like he's doing better than probably Cable, or he's doing better than probably Phantom, and we can use that to determine which animal we want to go forward. So come, let us show us a little bit more on some of the traits that we look for. So about they promise to show us an animal with, you know, an excellent looking scrotum. You show us an animal with excellent looking horn set, and then we look for these specific traits.
You can show them. I'll explain this.
This is good, man. Mr. Bartley, tell us about this. Because yes, we talk about the male and we're looking, performance testing is really to test the buck, because he's always say is 50% of your herd, right? Because he breeds everybody and the genetics is really passed through him to all these collective females that then move on. So the female though also represents 50% of the entire genetics. So why is it that you selected this female as the say boy, the recipient for Dropsy? What's so special about her?
Well,
Where's she coming from?
I like to, you know, experiment on the animals and the different genetics that I have here. And this female come out of a female that was from Phantom, that was come from Oral Robinson. So Princess of Beauty come out of a ram that come directly from Dr. Graham, who I bought from Smite up in Top Clarendon. And so for me doing my experiment, I said, you know, I have this nice female out of a ram from Dr. Graham. Let me try put a ram from Archer, which is the Magnum line that I buy from Jason Hayes, onto this goat. And then when I do that, I see what comes out, you know, as part of my experiment and going forward, because I definitely, you know, we criticize our genetics that we have here, but I think we're doing great with it. Yes, we need to upgrade and all of that, but we're doing really, really good on genetics and stuff. And this is what we get when we put the Magnum line up to a door from the Decepticon line from Dr. Graham, and we see what we get here. Sniper, we look on his conformation, his head set and everything like that, and it's beautiful, and I'm really, really excited with what I'm getting. And I've been doing this from really over, I started the goat farming in 2013, so I would really say I come back here in 2017 and start doing it myself, but you know, the experiment keep going and we keep on doing that. Well, alright, here we have a female here that I think give me some, not think, she give me some beautiful kid. She come out of a female that I bought when I first started from Oral Robinson. And she's not the best condition goat, I'm telling you. She have small shoulders, but when she have kid, she give me some of the best kids, some of the biggest kids. And the reason for that is she have this big stomach, and I just work out, this is why she give me, she'll be having two kids, and one of them will weigh 14 or 15 pounds, and the next one weigh 12, you know? And it's just excellent. One of the rams that I'm gonna show you with that perfect
scrotum,
that ram is from this female. And a buyer would come and say, oh no, you know, but sometimes you have to just look for certain things, and once you see something in a goat, just go with how you feel, you know. And this is what this female represents.
Yes, and the results are good. How old is this animal that she has?
1 month.
1 month. Wow. I know you do some Nubians though. What is it that you look for in the Nubians?
Well, to be honest, Nubian is not my favorite goat, but I have a friend who is a Nubian man, and that's Elvis. So Elvis convinced me, and we, you know, basically just going things together. Elvis have some beautiful original genetics.
Yes.
Nubian, first time Nubian genetics that's in the country, and I get a ram from him, and it proven, you know, the bone structure of a Nubian and how it is. And with this one here, at weighing at 3 months, he was weighing 54 pounds.
54, this
54
Nubian.
pounds, and he's leaving here next month. So I would really like to see how much he weighs at 4 months.
At 4 months.
You know, for a Nubian to wean weight at 54, I think it's good. I think it's really good, you know, and you can see a good bone and stuff, you know. It probably don't have, because the original Nubian them don't come with this Roman looking thing. It's not every Nubian that have that Roman face. So as you can see, it's very nice, you know, beautiful.
Beautiful.
So currently, me and Mr. Bartley is conducting Sire evaluation where we look at his genetics, and he has a lot of animal offsprings across the island and on his farm that we're looking at how is it that they perform on the different females, looking at birth weight and weaning weight. So we look at Thor, who's at Mr. Henry's farm, Blade, Sledge, Starboy that has been transferred to Mr. Passard, Dropsy, and we're looking at how these animals influence the different genetics across from both native types to purebred and full-bred boars, and looking and evaluating these sire offsprings.
Who is this, Mr. Bartley?
This is Blade. This is the 2019 Senior Grand Champion. When you look at neck and chest, I'm telling you, it's just absolutely perfect. When you look at, you know, because when you turn him around, just look at his neck and everything. And then when you turn it, when you go around and you look at.
So ultimately what Mr. Bartley has created on his farm is a Boer nucleus herd for the Jamaican landscape that can ultimately contribute meat performance traits to meat producers. And this is a very important feature in the goat business operation going forward as an industry as we commercialize. Everybody has a role to play.
Yeah, and you see what transfer from the they said father to son. You get the, you know, he's 11 months old.
11 months old.
11 months old right now. I haven't weighed him yet because the last time we weighed him, he's weighing about 150 at I think 6 months, so 160 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. Kemoy, hold on. How much Billy weighed the last time? 150. Yeah.
150.
Yeah, 150. 150 pounds. You know, so we're not really put him for showing or anything like that, but he just gradually, we just feed him normally, and he just gradually put on his weight. So he's gonna be a heavy boy.
Yes.
And look at his bone structure, and let him come out and you look at his bone structure. That's what I'm looking for, breeding for. The bone. You just look at it and look at his balls.
Yeah, man, I see it.
Yeah.
Heavy. And shape right.
Because him.
So Bartley, why did you select Billy? What was out of all your offsprings that you have here that come up, why was Billy more outstanding than anybody else?
Well, Billy was one of them, you know. I have two that I've sold because I can't keep all of them. Like 3-Star and Art Flush.
Yes.
They were from the same dad and they were excellent. I did want to keep Art Flush and I did want to keep 3-Star. I also want to keep Billy. But Billy here now, you can see the bone structure with Billy was different from the others. The way he stands was different from the others. The chest was, you know, maybe not better than 3-Star, but it was excellent. And overall, when you see Billy Balls, Billy Balls was just like his dad.
Yes.
That's one of the things when I was up against a Nubian at the Dembe show, and I'm telling you, Blade was just his chest, his overall, you know, including them nice round, you know, balls. I think that's what gave him the edge.
That gave him the edge, yes.
So, and see, we have a son now that
basically
the
same traits,
you know, and nice bone structure and all of that. So how dare anyone would, you know, talk down our genetics is here, and yes, we need to improve our genetics. Yes, AI is good. I'm not saying nothing bad about AI. AI is good and AI is there for us to upgrade.
But question, I hear that you might do some AI soon.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm gonna do some AI. I have to get in the mix.
Yes.
You know, I have to get in the mix of things. You know, I like challenges, so I like to be up there. You know, if you're in a race, you have to make sure you prepare yourself for a race. and I'm preparing myself for everything to export my animal, you know, and everything like that, because we get tons of calls and that. So yeah, after staying there, so AI.
Mr. Bartley, as a breeder, I know you conduct line breeding, but probably a lot of persons would question what you call the inbreeding coefficient. How is it that you prevent mating to say daughters to their fathers or to their grandfathers? What would you do? What would you recommend in a case like that?
Well, basically for me, it's always about record keeping, and we can keep on going back and forward with it, but record keeping, you have to know which ram breed which goat, and I choose which ram go to which female. So once I put a ram, like if I put Blade to a female here, I would make sure that none of Blade's sons that I'm keeping back go to his sister, or Blade go back to his daughter. Even though Blade going back to his daughter is not bad, you call that line breeding, but I try my hardest not to do that, you know. And I could walk around the pen and show you result from an excellent female, excellent does, and as I show you ram before, I will walk over there with Khalil and show him some females that I think are excellent and what I'm looking for and stuff. And this is why now we're doing AI, because AI would more broaden, you know,
your genetic base. Yes,
genetic base, and make it much better. Woo.
Yes, man, I like that.
It's gonna be. I'll show you something first. Alright.
So important of breeding farmers is the importance of having a good number of females. If your female breeding population is not high, you will have problems with creating, you know, the genetic diversity and allowing it to select from a number of animals, or to actually evaluate that one sire to 5 females compared from one sire to 10 females allow you to select better looking animals based on how genetics play out, with all that probability of you getting a good or a bad animal, or, you know, some will express particular traits than the others. So female population, quality female population is also very important.
Also, even though you see we have 18 females in here, and we know every single females in here, we know which ram is their dad,
yes,
right, and which female. So if we, alright, I have a female in here that I'm gonna show you now, that I Phantom Son Cable, the junior grand champion for 2019. I put her with a female that come out of Starboy,
yes,
that I sold to Mr. Passard, and the result from it was excellent. I'm going to show you that now.
This one here?
Yeah, this one. Yeah. Light-headed one?
Yes.
From Blade.
From Blade. So, okay, so Blade give you a light-headed looking phenotype.
Give you a light-headed, like these ones, all of those ones are Blade daughters. This one here. And then you have one of my favorite one in here, where she's over here. Not a nice. Here she is. Yeah. Alright, also I remember when Khalil Brown was at Bogus, and he get me 2 females from Bogus. They offer me 2 females there because of Khalil Brown, and they come here and they're very beautiful, and I get some nice females from those females that I use the same blade on.
Okay.
And she's one of them. I just like the head on her.
This one is from the Bodles, coming from Bodles and Blade.
And I just like her head and her onset. I just love it. So I can't wait till these goats become mature adult mother, they're gonna look it.
They're gonna look outstanding and give you outstanding kids. And what I can say to most farmers that really, guys, if you want some of the original Boer genetics, you really guys should try and get from Boodles. They do have stock from Australia, stock from Canada. They have a really wide, diversified genetic base at Boodles. And I think most farmers, especially most breeders in Jamaica, have some of that Boodles lines that they had there in their herd currently. So, you know, big up to the breeders of Boer animals in Jamaica. They're really holding us strong.
I do hope this allowed us to get a better understanding of what the mindset of a goat breeder is and how his investments a little bit more of an art, more of a eye for, and definitely data collection to assume who he believes is the best offsprings with these genetic traits needed to showcase to clients that would want them. And this is very important to the sector as he holds a seed stock, and that seed stock would provide the genetic traits to drive the commercial operation of meat production.